All right, today we're diving into something really cool from OpenAI, a new feature that could totally change the way you use ChatGPT. We're talking about getting in the driver's seat of the AI's mind. So let's grab the wheel and see what this is all about. So, have you ever had this happen? You ask ChatGPT a super simple question, and you get back a whole essay. Or maybe the opposite. You ask for a really deep, complex analysis, and what you get is, well, pretty weak, right? It's a super common problem. The issue right now is what you could call the one-size-fits-all problem. ChatGPT basically uses the same amount of computational muscle whether you're asking for a recipe for pasta or a breakdown of quantum physics. And that effort level just doesn't always match what you're asking for. But that might all be about to change. See, OpenAI is testing a solution, a new feature they're calling the thinking effort picker. So what is it? Well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. The Thinking Effort Picker is a tool that lets you, the user, decide just how much brain power the model should use on your specific question. And this is the whole idea right here. This is a huge shift. We're moving away from just tossing a question into the void and hoping for the best to actually guiding the AI on how much work to put in. It's about going from being a passive user to, well, an active director of the AI. Okay, so how does this work under the hood? OpenAI came up with a really clever and honestly kind of intuitive way to explain it, the juice budget. The idea is super simple. More juice means the model takes more steps and usually gives a deeper answer, but it responds slower. So in other words, you're making a trade-off. You're trading speed for depth, and you get to decide where on that scale you want to be. So this whole system is broken down into 4 different levels, and each one has its own juice budget. You've got light at just 5 for those quick questions, standard at 18 for your everyday stuff, and extended jumps up to 48 for when you need a bit more depth. But then there's max. And just look at that number, 200. That is a massive jump. It's more than 4 times the budget of the extended level. That tells you just how much deeper and more careful the model can be when you really crank it up. Of course, all that computational heavy lifting has a cost. So this top tier, the max level, with its 200-point juice budget, that's going to be an exclusive feature, only available for paid Pro Plan subscribers. So that's the tech behind it, but how would you actually use this in the real world? Let's take a look at what choosing your effort level really means in practice. This just nails the whole concept perfectly. On one side, you have a super simple, light effort question like, what should I do tomorrow? A juice budget of 5 is plenty for that. But on the other side, for a really complex topic like explain bond valuation, you want the model to use all 200 units of that juice for a super careful deep dive. So the whole point is picking the right tool for the job. Just think of it like this. Use light for those quick and simple questions. Standard is your go-to for most everyday tasks. You'll want to switch to extended when you need a bit more substance. And you save max for those times you need the absolute most careful, thorough analysis you can get. Okay, so let's pull all this together. What does a feature like this really mean for the future of how we work with AI? What's the big takeaway here? This is a big deal for a few key reasons. For starters, you're going to get more relevant answers because you're actually matching the effort to the task. You also get control over how fast you get an answer. If you need it quick, you can get it quick. And obviously, you'll get way better results on complex stuff. But that last point, that's the real game changer. This moves you from just being a passive user to being an active director. And that's really the idea I want to leave you with. As we get tools that give us this kind of fine-tuned control, it fundamentally changes our relationship with the technology. Are we no longer just people typing in prompts? Are we becoming AI directors, tweaking each performance to get exactly the result we need? Definitely something to think about.